Just don't compare yourself to somebody that has been through the process and is in a much deeper state of evolution, as it were, in their professional development. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I have Neuro Coffee in hand, and it is perfect. All right. Well, today's Wednesday. That means that tomorrow's Thursday. And 6 a.m. tomorrow, we have the Coffee and Coaches Conference call as usual. Great groups of people, great questions, total fun. I will continue to do these as long as they remain fun. I think we're in the high 60s for almost consecutive weeks. Had a couple of vacations in there, but in general, we're doing this thing every week. We will continue to do so as long as there's interest. So please join us. The link will be on my professional Facebook page just prior to the call, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Today's Q&A. So this came out of an email, and there was two students actually kind of asking the same question, and they want to know about, okay, what was your philosophy coming out of school? How did you evolve? What you do, and because they're a little frustrated, I think, as far as the process that they're going through right now, and I think it's pretty standard operating procedure for most students, especially when they experience a little bit of the overwhelm of the information that's available and all the viewpoints and the opinions, and they're just not sure which way to go. Truth be told, I didn't have a philosophy coming out of school because I was an idiot. And then you just get smarter over time. So experience matters, failures matter. The thing that you don't want to do as a student, especially when you're first starting in any adventure, if you will, and your evolution, is don't compare yourself to somebody that has been through the process and is in a much deeper state of evolution, as it were, in their professional development. You can't compare yourself. You can only compare yourself to yourself. And so look where you've already been, look where you're headed, and then move forward. And then you can, again, always look back and make the comparison and say, okay, I've made progress in this manner, but don't compare yourself to other people. That's the worst thing you could possibly do. So today's clip actually comes from a call that we did, I think, back in January, where Nikki and Barbala both asked some questions in this regard. It's like, what was your philosophy? How did you do this? What are the most important things to keep you moving forward? So hopefully this is a useful call for a lot of students. And then maybe some professionals that might be early in their career that get a little frustrated as well. So I think it'll be helpful. If you would like to participate in a 15-minute consultation, please go to askbillhartman@gmail.com, askbillhartman@gmail.com. Put 15-minute consultation in the subject line. We will arrange that at our mutual convenience. Don't forget to include your question in the email. That would be really, really helpful. If you do that, everybody have an outstanding Wednesday. I will see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., Coffee and Coaches Conference call. Have a great day.
I got a question, Bill.
I got an answer.
What was your philosophy when you first started, and how has it changed days?
Oh, Nikki, you don't want to go there.
Why? Let's do it.
Do you know how old I am?
Yes.
Do you know how many evolutions that I've been through?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Oh, it was horrible. It was miserable. I was an idiot. I would not send my worst enemy to Bill Hartman year one. And so again, it's like, again, I don't think about that stuff too much, to be honest with you, Nikki, because I don't like where I was when I started. It was kind of embarrassing. And but yeah, I don't know. It's just been an evolution. Like the last 10 years have been really, really good. I've just been able to ask better questions because I've had enough reps and horrible, miserable failures. I think I was young when I came out of school. So the concept of failure was something that I was afraid of and now it's like, it's just another part of the puzzle. So if you want to go like hardcore end game philosophy, that's probably the biggest thing. It's like I'm just not afraid to fail anymore. So I did not have a philosophy when I came out of school. I was lost. I was a puppy. I had an oatmeal for a brain.
That brings me to my next question.
Okay, it's the Nikki Show. Go ahead.
Somebody has to have a show today.
Go ahead.
You mentioned that you felt lost after a thing. Have you ever felt lost during your career path? And what helped you like find your spot or your place in your career where you didn't feel lost anymore?
So I quit for a year.
Mhm.
Actually quit for a year. I did something else. Because I thought it was going to be a big thing, and it turned out to be absolutely nothing. So coming back from that, that was an important. It was important for me to do that. I actually recognized the fact that there's only a few things that I'm good at. Right? It's like I always talk to people. It's like emphasize your strengths because your weaknesses will always be weaknesses. And so that was a year of discovery for me where I found out it's like, hey, you know what? I was really good at the other thing, and that's where I should spend my time. And then that's where the drive started to come from. And then again, my curiosity coming back from that year, it was exceptionally high. And so I just started asking a lot of questions and looking for the answers. And then there's this thing that is I think it's gaining some popularity now called the internet. And there was a lot of more information that was available to me. So back in the old days, what we used to do is we used to have to read books, and you actually had to go to the library where they had the journals to get articles, and then you had a card, like a credit card, that you would put into the machine that would actually make a photocopy, and you used to have to photocopy the articles and take them home with you instead of downloading the PDF in about 2 seconds. And so that's I would go to there's a medical school downtown. I would spend hours on the weekends at the medical school library downloading articles, right? So, that's kind of, like I said, there was just that moment of recognition. It's like, yeah, I probably just need to stick with what I'm good at, and then just develop that as hard as I possibly can. And I had a couple of people that gave me a little bit of guidance early on from PT school, actually, and I got to work with one of my mentors for a couple of years.
Yeah. Do you think it's normal to feel lost at some point in your career?
I don't know. I think it's going to be an individual thing. I think some people are just really, really self-aware, and that's one of the greatest of superpowers. And it just, like, some of us find it early. I'm a late bloomer. I'm going to be 55 in May, so I'm a really late bloomer as far as I'm concerned. I think that if I would have had the opportunity to be exposed to the amount of information that is available now, I think it would be probably a different evolution. But I'm really happy about the way that it turned out, because I'm like ridiculously happy where I am in life in general. Like, it took me forever to get here, but I'm really happy to be here. And so again, I think you just kind of, everybody finds their own way, but feeling lost is not something to worry about, as long as you remain curious, and as long as you continue to ask questions, and as long as you continue to seek more information, and not just information, but to gain the experience that goes with it.
I have one more deeper questions on the Bill Hartman show this morning.
Like, can't we just talk about infrastructural angles and stuff? That's why everybody's here. No, go ahead.
Okay. So on that note, and like kind of like on the tail end of all of those, what do you think that personally, like inside of you, not outside of your environment, or not necessarily the learning, but you personally on the inside, made you successful or made you who you are now? Like, I know that, like, I think like you put out some of the answers, but what do you think that's like the 3 like most successful traits in you? Like, is it, yeah.
Well, number one, I'm happy. I don't know that I'm successful. Okay. I'm happy, which is more important. Having a curiosity about what you do is one of the most powerful things, because it drives you to continue to to progress, right? I still have questions. I still look for answers, right? And so I think that that's probably a number one. Like the minute you stop being curious, you don't ask questions anymore. And then you make an assumption that you know enough. And then there's no growth. And one of my greatest fears is that I'm actually an old man sitting in a nursing home, sitting in a wheelchair, and all this is being imagined, right? Because that's where I don't want to be. I always want to be invested and excited about what I do. And so I think the curiosity is the number one thing, because it does continue to push you. Like when you're tired, but you still have to answer that one question because it's just burning up inside of you to have an answer. And so that, I don't know if I would have a top three, to be honest with you, because I just think that the curiosity drives the excitement drives the motivation, and then the discovery is the reward. So, it's just, people like to talk about, like, they know something about the brain and they say, oh, it's your dopamine reward system. It's like, okay, so let's just say that is what's going on. It's like every time you discover something new or something of value or something that kind of makes sense, and you do get that excitement, getting getting that perfect, the perfect red velvet cake with the extra buttercream icing on it, what I'm talking about, and then you put your favorite caramel flavored ice cream on top of it. Does everybody do that, or is it just me? So it's that moment where it's just like, this is perfect, and you feel that, and then you get driven again. So, but without the curiosity, I don't think there's a cascade like that. And so if you're not curious about this, then you're not going to do well, because the struggle is there for a reason, to keep the challenge in front of you, which is really, really important. But if you're not curious and then you struggle, now you hate yourself and you hate every moment, and you can't live like that.